I'm not sure it's for you, but do you want to prepare yourself for any type of conversation and give yourself a unique edge, a unique advantage? If so, keep watching. Hi, I'm Chris. I'll summarise this book for you. And the first title I actually said was what they referred to as a magic word. This gets your attention. And how open-minded would be another thing, because everybody actually wants to be open-minded, so therefore it's harder to refuse something. And what you know about is another good phrase that you could use that can actually allow the other person to tell you their knowledge and how they have informed that particular opinion. Obviously, it's important to listen when you ask these questions. But how would you feel if, or just imagine, these are nice phrases that can get in the other person's mind a scenario running that could be conjuring up great positive things or negative things. And you can use that to your advantage, particularly in sales, to try and lead somebody down that path. When would be a good time to? Now that's a good thing to end a conversation with. Like, when would be a good time to phone you back about this? Because it prompts the other person to assume that no is not an option. If you're phoning somebody, you may want to say, well, I'm guessing you've not got round to, and fill in the blanks. So I could phone my old friends and say, I'm guessing you've not got round to subscribing to my YouTube channel yet. They may hang up, but they're more likely to just kind of feel a bit guilty and then give some kind of positive thing like, yeah, I'm just about to do it, and give a kind of fixable plan that they say they'll execute. If you're having a presentation, you may want to end with, instead of do you have any questions, to what questions do you have for me? Because the minute you assume there's an outcome like that, it's the easiest thing is for them to just say we've got no questions. And when you're interacting with somebody and perhaps trying to obtain their phone number, instead of asking, can I have your phone number, which puts a kind of permission-based resistance in them, just say, what's the best number for me to contact you on? In terms of decisions, helping others make decisions, it's good to sometimes break things down into 3 options and then finish that with which of these would be easiest for you. And equally, you can frame, most people do this or this, dividing people into kind of 2 groups of people, and you can make one group appear like that person would likely strive to appear like they want. Therefore, they're more likely to go with that particular option. I bet you're a bit like me. If you say that, the other person's likely to then agree with you. And just remember, the easier the question is to answer, the easier it is to actually gain a decision. And the person in control tends to actually be the person asking the questions. So, therefore, when you face objections, ask, what makes you say that? And people will often say thank you when they feel they owe you something. And that's actually the best time to ask for somebody's help. But just out of curiosity, that's a nice little trick to find more details. And you may have watched Columbo before, but this is just one last thing I'll leave you with. It's just one more thing. And that can often keep that window of conversation open a little longer so that you can perhaps leave with a sale. So just one more thing, feel free to watch another of my YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Because I bet you're a bit like me, and then what you'll find is the other person will be likely to agree with you. And equally, if you want to influence... So when you're dealing with options, you can break them down into 3 and say, when you're helping other people make decisions, you may want to break it down into 3 different options, list them off, and then ask them which of the above would it be most. When you're dealing with options, you could try and frame something by saying, well, typically there's two groups of people. One type do X, another type do Y. And you can, if you want, describe those groups of people to try and get the person you're speaking with to choose one particular group from perhaps what they would like to be like or like them to be considered themselves like.